Guys, welcome back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. Please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. So today we're going to discuss mass adoption in crypto specifically and what it takes to get there. But before we talk about that, we got to go start at the beginning. So this is the goal. You guys have seen this floating around, but I want to show you why it's so important. And in order to do that, we got to start with kind of the nuts and bolts of a website. So essentially, the reason why this is important, not just this for Drip, but for mass crypto adoption in general, is because something like this is very easy for people to use and understand, right? It's done in a game way, and you can navigate it, and you see what's happening with the character. It's very easy to pick up and get started. And that's what it took to get mass user adoption of the internet. So if you're not familiar, I'm going to give you a little bit of history on like coding and whatnot. So you guys all know that everywhere you go to on the internet, it's called a web page. And here's a simple like web page that I took from an editor, and I'm going to show you the code behind this, and that will give you an idea of what this takes. But this is just a simple web page, not very complex at all, but the code that goes behind that is all of this. So imagine for a second, if you wanted to create that, you have to be able to code all of this and understand what's going on here and what that represents. Now imagine if not just you, the person creating it, but say you needed to interact with it and you had to also type in that manner. So in order to interact with it, you had to come in here and add code or whatever the case may be. Luckily, the internet gave birth to what is known as basically a GUI, or technically not the internet. That GUIs came into existence, graphic user interface, came into existence with the first like Windows 95 PC and moving your mouse around the screen. Prior to that, people had to code everything they wanted to do. And now with making a web page in the old format, you have online editors, or what's known as WYSIWYGs, which is what you see is what you get. That's what that stands for. And basically when you do something over here, it will automatically update on this side. You know, if I take this whole paragraph out, it takes that out over there, right? So while you're doing it, you can see the code on the other side. So luckily, no longer do we have to do this. We can just actually drag and drop and make things. And this is still very archaic compared to what we have now with drag and drop editors and things of that nature. But imagine if we still had to do that. Let's take a look at a very popular website, google.com, and you'll see what is behind the scenes or under the hood with Google. If you do a Control-Shift-I, you get to inspect the code basically. And now most web pages are done in multiple different languages: CSS, Java, HTML, XML. I don't even know what they're doing anymore, but they've advanced quite a bit. But the reason I'm showing you all this is because it gives you an idea of understanding why this development that we're getting is so important. So this Google web page has all of this code, and a lot of these are cookies and tracking and stuff like that, but all of this is needed to create this. That's it. Like, it's a lot of code and script. And if you just put in a wrong letter here or put a comma versus a dot, you can literally have the web page not load and screw things up. But let's move over to the blockchain, right? So the whole point of this is talking about why this particular use case is extremely important. Well, if we look at the blockchain, let's start again at the beginning. So we're going to take a look at the Drip Garden. Here's the Drip Garden contract. So if you wanted to, you can go straight to BSC Scan and actually interact here with the contract. You can actually see the script, the code. It's written in Solidity, and if you understand Solidity, you could actually extract this out and read the actual code as written. think it's, where is it here? 1 second. All right, had to pause and pull this up. But here is the Solidity contract for the Drip BUSD pair. So if you are Solidity savvy, then you can come in here and take a look and read everything and understand what this is. And then you can actually go and read and write to the contract using your MetaMask wallet or your Ledger wallet or whatever Web3 wallet you have, right? So just like the HTML version I showed you, this is a way to interact with this, and this is the primitive language right now for Web3. Solidity being one of the languages. There are other languages across other platforms, but this is the most common way on ETHScan or BSC Scan or the one for AVAX, all these. You can come in and write directly to the contract. So if the website's ever down, which is the GUI side I was talking about, the graphic user interface, you can come straight here and do everything you need to do with the Drip BUSD liquidity pair. Now also, we have a GUI on Pancake Swap of how to buy Drip BUSD from Pancake Swap. So you see we're stepping to a little bit more user friendly. Like obviously using the contract is not friendly at all for most people, probably 99% of people in crypto. Once you get your feet wet, you know how to pair and unpair on an AMM like Pancake Swap. But for beginners, this is not easy. This is very confusing as well. But the fact is that it's here. You can add liquidity, you can trade and all that stuff. But this can be very intimidating. So then we have the next level. We go to the animal farm, right? So this is a GUI that Forex and his team built so that people can interact directly with the contract through something a little more user-friendly. So it's easier. It's like, okay, I just put this in, click this, click that, and you're off to the races, right? So you can see exactly what you want. But still, even this can be very confusing. So we get to finally this other layer that is super user-friendly, in my opinion, because it's designed with like a game kind of interface. And most anybody in crypto now, even newbies and some of the older heads or whatever, will be able to interact with this. Crypto is just a technology, like Mr. Wonderful says, Kevin O'Leary. So it's tech. So anyone in tech will be able to definitely grab onto this really easily because it's just a game interface. So the whole point of this video is that showing you how the progression from the Solidity code or even the website I showed you in HTML, CSS, and Java, how we've come to here. And once things like this become the norm, then man, you get mass adoption because it's just so easy for someone to come in and participate. And if all of a sudden on this website is the place to interact with your credit card to get the Drip BUSD pair, like the fiat on-ramp he was talking about, then they never have to leave the site. And remember, this was built by an independent group of devs. That's why I keep telling you that the Drip community is like insane. So this will show you your garden stats. It'll show you plants as they come up. And I'm guessing you take Porky or Snoopy or any of the other ones around and you can actually pull these plants up and you're harvesting them and things of that nature. And then this has a lot of potential for the other aspects of the game or of the farm as they add on to it. I mean, this is insane. This could literally turn into something like The Sims, for example, where it's a 3D environment and you're building houses or farms and gardens and pigs and dogs. Like, I have no idea. But these developers are super talented, and this is definitely going to help with mass user adoption. So I hope you guys can see that natural progression of how the internet got adopted and how we started using things. Even like I said, go back to Windows 95, and some of you don't even know anything about that. But the point is, before we had a mouse that we could click around and click on stuff, people had to write code. And it wasn't until it got really easy to drag and drop and double click and swipe in the new thing, then that's when it got massive user adoption. So these are the natural progression stepping stones in the crypto ecosystem. So again, I keep stressing on this channel, we are super early. And finding a project that has a long-term vision, that wants to ride this super early wave and be innovative and continue to develop, man, there is nothing more to say with that. Like, just get it and ride it till the wheels fall off, because this is it. Like, This is just one project of many, and this is separate. Wait till a year from now when other devs see what they can build on top of the ecosystem. So, all right, participate in the No Sell August campaign. Like and subscribe. Get me to 2,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to get there by end of the month. And lift daily and achieve your impossible. See you guys.